And there it is. My greatest loss of all time. This computer is probably my greatest loss of all time. Has a dead motherboard, and I can't figure out how to fix it. And I'm too lazy to buy a new motherboard, because these things, even the motherboard for these, are darn near impossible to find. It's kind of like the Centrus 660 AV that I recently bought, was shown in the last video. We're not going to be talking necessarily about this computer today. I know that kind of sounds hypocritical and leafy type stuff, but this is kind of related to the video. So basically what I want to do first here, before we do anything else, is I want to rip the side panel off here and pull out the hard drive. 2 thumb screws, and it comes straight off like that. And boom, access to the internals. As you can see, here's the power supply, the motherboard and stuff. To get to the component that we want today, we are going to take out this thumb screw, take out this, the entire thing just came out. Pull off the SATA cables, and boom, we have a hard drive caddy here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to omit this part. From failure to one of the most special computers of all time. This was my second computer, the Dell Dimension E520. Here's the hard drive I pulled from the computer. A Western Digital Caviar SE. Still works after however many April Fool's Day 2008. Has not failed yet. Pretty good hard drive, I guess. Now here is the side panel. This is probably even easier to remove. There's a latch on the top. And if you want to make this Macintosh style, you can always pull that down. And there, free Power Mac G4 style. Now this has 2 hard drives in it. We're going to take the bottom one out. I didn't even unplug the computer. Wow. And what do you know? It's a Hitachi. Whoops, I think I pulled out the wrong hard drive. Put it back in. The hard drive I'm going to keep in there for now. Take out this the top one. This is a Western Digital Caviar SE as well. Probably from 2007. 80 gig. I believe, yeah, it has Windows XP on it. And we're going to take it out of this little enclosure here. I covered up the screw holes. That was pretty simple. Then we're going to put in the new hard drive. Alright, let's see if I can fit this into the system. Alright, I got the computer all back together. Let's turn it on. And we're going to have to set, actually no, it is the boot menu. Now I want to see which hard drive I'll start off with first. Both of these hard drives do have an operating system. Okay, so it still reads the Western Digital, obviously, it's the same brand. This should start into Windows Vista. Or maybe not as much. Gateway. Oh, Norton Internet Security. Yeah, bloatware. Isn't it like every computer uses Norton? Gateway. Your life defines our technology. This might not help us in any way whatsoever. Actually, it might. So basically, what I want to do is I want to go to the control panel here, whatever you call it. Oh, please get out of I do not want AOL in. Continue. That's where we want to go. You will see that there's not only a recovery partition, there's also partition 1, which I simply would like to split. Alright, so most of what I did was off camera. I could not partition this hard drive because it must have like failed or something, and now I can only shrink about 1 gigabyte of space. So I decided to partition the main Windows 7 hard drive, put the Windows XP hard drive back in, and call it a day. So now we're going to be installing Windows Longhorn build 4039. Now the computer is going to come out of sleep mode, and you're going to see a version of Windows XP with a custom Windows Longhorn skin. Don't ask me why I put that on. So, what we want to do is we want to restart the computer. I tested the CD earlier. I only got the 0x000007B error until I switched to the ATA mode or whatever. So, we're going to hit setup, HCI BIOS installed, blah blah blah. That should be a very simple procedure. Drives, SATA operation, enter RAID auto detect /ATA, escape, save and exit, and now everything should be unbootable except for the CD in the drive. Boot off the CD, and now we are booting into the Windows pre-installation environment with a Windows 2000 style start. And then we get the incredibly simplistic startup screen. There we go, incredibly simplistic startup screen, Microsoft Longhorn. Alright, here's our beautiful background, the incredibly large mouse cursor. Now we have a smaller mouse cursor. What resolution is this? 800 by 600. Hourglass cursor, garbage Windows XP 1. That's been around since Windows 3.1 maybe? I don't know. And here we go, Windows Vista style startup. What is this clock for? We'll let you know when you can walk away and leave setup to finish on its own. That is actually pretty accurate as to what people do when they install Windows, so thank you Windows Longhorn setup for being honest. Collecting information. 2. Installing Windows. Step 3.
It's the final countdown!
Alright, I have entered the product key that I totally didn't find online. And now we can only use this operating system for 180 days. Try to make the most of it. And that's like 6 months. Alright, we want disk 1 partition 4. Let's format it. To make sure you have chosen to format partition 4 on drive 1. If you proceed, setup will delete all information contained on this partition. Continue. It's a very terrible name, so let's just call it ORN, and hopefully that works. And now, collecting information and copying files needed for setup. Windows setup is now configuring your drive. Well, my camera's about to die, so... See, it's actually pretty hot out here. Like, it's much hotter out here as it is inside. Wow. Alright, let's get that camera charger. Sorry, so shaky. This is what the restart screen looks like. And it's gone. Well, unfortunately, I now have to go back to PC cam mode. I have a feeling I screwed something up with the SATA operation thing, because the hard drive I just installed it on uses the RAID controller, I believe. Is there any way I can get like off the RAID controller? That'd be nice. Okay, let's try Hitachi drive F8. Click escape. No, let's go into Windows 7. Alright, well, we're gonna have to go on to Windows 7 real quick. Alright, you know what? Instead of screwing around the partition tables and stuff, we're just gonna do this the easy way. Or, Windows could not start because the following file. Okay, yeah. That was because I screwed with the partition tables and accidentally deleted everything I had just done. But anyways, we're gonna try this the easier way. If you're wondering what the newer Windows bootloader is for, I accidentally tried to install Windows Vista on the XP hard drive once, and I didn't want to, so I had to go back to earlier version of Windows. And then I deleted all the setup files. So now every time you start up the Windows XP hard drive, it'll try to do Windows setup, but it'll just give you this. So you should enter earlier version of Windows. Now I have to go to Windows XP because Windows Longhorn is broken, and Windows XP Home Edition, Service Pack 3. Yeah, I believe I installed Service Pack 3 to make it legit. I know when I installed this boot screen, it had Service Pack 2. And now we are actually in the operating system. I believe it's trying to use an air. Yeah, I'm trying to use an arrow theme, but it didn't work so well. So now you got like the arrow start button, but the taskbar and the menu bars and stuff are just black. Alright, I believe that is what we want. Welcome to Microsoft Codename Longhorn. What do you want to do? Install Longhorn, perform additional tasks, or visit the compatibility website. Well, I'm pretty sure the compatibility website is dead. The additional tasks are stuff that we don't want to do right now. And we have installed Longhorn. So I'm pretty sure that's the option we want. Let's go ahead and do that. Now it's actually using the monitor's full resolution, and it's using an actual good mouse cursor for once. Black screen, generic XP mouse cursor, back to good mouse cursor, and it decided to, okay then, there we go. So now setup is actually loaded into memory, and type the product key. Well, we're gonna need that. Alright, accept. Oh, okay, so this was the days before Vista, so while it was using, this is basically this Windows Vista setup, and the way it works. It has a lot of different names and stuff. Express upgrade was just became upgrade, and the clean installation became custom install. So basically what I'm saying here is that Microsoft made things a lot more complicated than it needed to be in the later versions of the setup, which still exists today. Upgrade has been disabled. To upgrade, you must be running Longhorn build 428 or higher. Non-image based Windows installs cannot be upgraded. Build 4028 and higher is required for upgrades. I have no idea what build Windows XP even is. Continue, and now we're setting it up. Well, we're done collecting personal information. Now we're installing Windows, and next is step 3, final countdown. And step 4, there's no step 4. There's no step 4? There's no step 4? Alright, I'm just gonna leave it to the time lapse. I believe this is the part where we can walk away and leave it go. The computer will restart in a moment to begin the next part of setup. Feel free to do something else while setup finishes. Just come back in about 10 minutes. Thanks for giving it an estimated time. Please don't leak my Steam information. And now it should be automatically restarting. Quite literally 10 seconds later. Or not, maybe. Who knows? Also, does anybody notice that the camera's been tilted this whole time? It's like the worst camera angle ever. Top 10 worst camera angles in existence. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna have to manually shut this down, restart. Doing your settings. And Windows is shutting down. Windows has left the building. That was no joke from my grandpa. Now, should be able to actually use that option. Unless the Vista bootloader actually lets me use the, Windows Longhorn setup. Yep, there we go. Microsoft Windows Longhorn setup. It's longer than just Windows setup. Starting Windows pre-installation environment. Please wait. And now, and it died. Okay, so this was the error I was getting before. Now hopefully a simple BIOS setting change should fix it. So I'm gonna have to completely do a manual restart, hit the button, entering setup. detect, accept, escape, save and exit, and Dell screen once again. That's an Intel logo down there, by the way. Windows Longhorn setup. I have a feeling this was probably like a professional version of the Dell Dimension series. After all, I'm pretty sure this came from a hardware store. And here we go, back into the gigantic Windows mouse cursor. We've wasted a lot of time in this video. Can I just say that? Alright, so we went straight to installing Windows, and now is copying files. Now, the computer will restart in a moment to begin the next part of setup. Feel free to leave or do something else when setup. This is the exact same screen from before, except looking completely worse. Whatever, just restart the computer. Insert Mac startup. Microsoft Windows Longhorn setup is what we want, not Windows Vista setup. Play. Setup.exe. See. Oh, what's this? Please go to the control panel to install and configure system components. How am I supposed to do that when I have just a command prompt? I don't know DOS. I don't know this stuff. Whatever, just restart. Let's try something else. It's the earlier version of Windows. Windows Longhorn. Let's try Windows Longhorn setup. A discrete error occurred. Control-Delete. Whew. What a ride we've been through already. Right, let's try second Windows Longhorn. I sped up the startup because it was boring. Sent back to Microsoft and said, this doesn't work at all. Alright, we'll watch as this doesn't prepare to start at all and it just sits here. What exactly just happened? Longhorn lay. Is that pig Latin? Starting setup. This okay, so somehow we didn't get caught in the same situation that Red Eye Computing got into when he tried to install Windows Longhorn on that Packard Bell.
Is this it?
It just went black.
Okay,
everybody
that's
cross your
good.
fingers. Cross your fingers. Okay. Oh, it's doing.
Yes! Wait until Windows decides to start. Yes.
Alright, okay, so it's been on this screen for about 15-20 minutes now, so I'm getting bored. Everyone else is getting bored. I don't think it's going to start, so I'm just going to restart the computer.
Please wait while set detects your computer's hardware, which is literally from 2007. This computer existed after Windows Vista's release, and it doesn't indicate anywhere on it that it supports Windows Vista, even though it supports Windows 7. Longhorn lay professional pay. Yes, I believe this is a build of Windows Longhorn that uses pig Latin. Ortfe Essing Tay Urpus Pay No Oi. I don't get it. Build 4039 lab 06 underscore n dot 030827 dash 1717. Busy trying to detect my hardware. Okay, whoa. Was that logging on? It's my mouse cursor is not moving at all. We have a blinking cursor and press Control-Alt-Delete to begin. Holy crap! Control-Alt-Delete. Hello. My keyboard driver's broken. Okay, so I tried everything I could to try and get the mouse and keyboard working, but I just could not get it to work. This is the results. Let's try something else. First off, not having the camera so tilted, because I have zero cameraman on me. Alright. So, as you can see, we're using a Puck mouse now, and we're using a Gateway Millennium keyboard. That didn't work for Windows Longhorn. So, instead of waiting for Steam to load up, what we want to do is we're going to try copying all the drivers from here, from the Windows XP install, to the Windows Longhorn install, and then try to boot Windows Longhorn and pray that it works. This is just gonna blow up in my face, isn't it? Yeah, okay, I'm probably gonna omit this part because there's a lot of stuff on this hard drive and it might take a while. Well, it looks like I broke it. A problem has been detected and Windows has been shut down to prevent damage to your computer. If this is the first time you've seen a stop error screen, restart your computer. Well, this is the first time I've seen this error screen. For some reason, we have 0x0000000A5, not 7B. It says, instead of giving the usual dumb instructions that are completely pointless, it says the BIOS in the system is not fully ACPI compliant. Please contact your system vendor for an updated BIOS. If you are unable to obtain an updated BIOS or the latest BIOS supplied by your vendor that is not ACPI compliant, you can turn off ACPI mode during text mode setups. To do this, press the F7 key when you are prompted to install storage drivers. This happened as soon as I started up the computer into Windows Longhorn. Unless let's try undoing the setting I just did in the BIOS by using the RAID controller instead of the auto detect /ATA. You see, because what I did was I basically copied everything from the System32 drivers folder in Windows XP to the System32 drivers folder on Windows Longhorn. I also installed every single driver into the raw System32 folder by accident, but hopefully it didn't influence anything. AHCI BIOS installed, blah blah blah, Intel Matrix, Storage Manager, Option ROM, blah blah blah. 2006 Intel, earlier version of Windows Longhorn, start Windows normally. Let's see if I get a blue screen of death again. I got the same blue screen of death. Okay, well, we have a problem here that I'm not sure how to fix. So I did eventually find the solution to the problem, and basically I just reinstalled using the CD and not making the same mistake I did before by completely erasing everything and reformatting by using the partition tables. And it seemed to work. In fact, I do have some pictures of it working, which I will show right now. So this video was a success, but most of it was off camera. Unfortunately, later I couldn't log into the system, so I have to fix that problem, most likely by reinstalling again. But other than that, that'll end this video. Or will it?